I don't think they want to sing Christmas carols.
Well, it's not Christmas this week, but it is my birthday, so I guess one of us will be celebrating something.
Happy birthday, motherfucker!
Ironically though, both this review and episode do take place in the summer, and if you're wondering why I'm rambling on about this shit, I don't even fucking know. You try thinking of an introduction for a non-related holiday special without ignoring the fact that it's 29 fucking degrees at the minute, and wishing that you were in this winter wonderland.
Well, this stinks.
We kick off this one with the gang traversing Death Valley in desperate need of a relief from the heat, where Ben goes grey matter to try and fix the aircon, only for his attempt to cause the fan to blow out and overheat, leading to Max having to stop the RV and allow the smoke to clear. Whereas they're waiting, Gwen and Ben spot a dinky little cottage off in the distance, and upon further inspection discover cold air emanating from inside of it, and given the conditions that they're currently in, figure why the fuck not and walk on in there.
No one else has a better idea, so fuck it.
Revealing a winter wonderland, but are also being observed by an old man. After the intro, they step further into this Christmas cornucopia and are greeted by elves, nutcrackers and reindeer all around as Max gets a little weepy-eyed thinking about how the entire Tennyson family had never spent a Christmas together, and is something he's hoping to change as he likely never had one previously due to his career as a plumber. As the kids go off to explore, Max walks into a coffee shop looking for some cocoa and is instead greeted by a young elf with blue eyes as opposed to the standard green on everyone else, who escorts him to Mr. Jingles, the mayor of Holiday Village, who believes Max to be Santa Claus and proceeds to have him suited up and tied down to impersonate Santa as a means to motivate his workers down below, using magnetics and a magic remote to manipulate Max into performing the associated tropes with festive fathermas.
This ass is mine!
While the kids have no clue what's going on and continue blissfully unaware that things aren't as they seem, they are made aware pretty fucking quickly when a group of nutcrackers arrive and begin to attack them. Ben responds by going accelerate to escape with Gwen, and after a few miscalculations regarding a speedster on ice, Ben times out after defeating the soldiers, and they are met with Elsgood, the young blue-eyed elf from earlier, who tells them to leave the land or they'll become elves too.
Happy Christmas, motherfucker.
Initially dismissive of this warning, things begin to take effect with Ben and Gwen transforming into said elves, and they meet a new threat as the land becomes night, with icemen appearing ready to attack them too. But Elsgood leads them away, and as they enter a nearby building, Gwen spots a wall of photos documenting Mr. Jingles and his time with different children, and Gwen asks when the primary photo was taken, with the surprising answer being 1932.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Meaning this town has been trapped in time. However, as the Icemen begin to break through, Elsgood gets them away through a trapdoor below the village where they fall into a distribution pit, and he informs the duo that to undo the curse they need to destroy Jingles' Jingulator. And they proceed to sneak in behind a group of reindeer with Ben geared up as Wildmutt, only to be discovered and are chased onto a railway that leads them further down to the Jingulator.
Can't be that easy. That easy.
The three descend into the primary workshop and are greeted by Jingles with Max in tow. Jingles puts the trio to work with Elsgood pointing out the Jingulator to Ben, to which he makes a beeline for with Gwen's help and goes grey matter to shut down the production line and Jingles' minions at least. Max gets free and knocks Jingles down, who explains that the perfect toys need to go out to the world for the curse to be lifted, with Max responding it's never about the gifts but being together. However, to undo the practical aspect of this, Ben goes stinkfly to get the gifts out and about around the world, and upon their return discover that the village has reverted to normalcy, with an aged up Elsgood to reflect how long it's been for him, and the gang leave Holiday Village and return to the road with a broken aircon. Now, as far as my thoughts go, it's ultimately pointless to delve too far into this, as I feel I don't remember anything that references such a niche tale in this universe later down the road, and quite frankly, I don't.
Fantastic. This was a huge waste of my time.
This episode isn't necessarily bad, it's a fun little adventure that doesn't require much attention, but if you're like me and wish to know more about these sort of things, don't hold your breath, as pretty much anything that could come from this is ultimately left to headcanon, as it is just a studio request to make a holiday special for Ben 10. The most fascinating aspect to this was the time lock or curse placed upon the village, as Elsgood said that the photo with him and Jingles was taken in 1932, where if you're going by current day for the show, which would place this at 2006, would mean that he's been stuck there as a wee lad for almost 75 years. And assuming that this was an established town before vanishing into its own void outside of present day, then something trapped them here to begin with and convinced everyone that it was a curse. But it begs the question, what would even put them here and why?
Quick, shoot me in the face!
But a better question, I guess, is who the fuck was Jingles and why was he here? I'd assume he had something to do with this, or was at least the catalyst for change, as he's not there when the time reverts, but he is immortalized by the end as a statue. The devotion to providing a joyous Christmas is noble and sincere, if not a little creepy in presentation, though that may just be current day societal perceptions of things like this seeping in, but I can't really interpret what was intended here other than it's a village curse to work their asses off for the sake of a good Christmas to many without a Santa. Which was something I wondered on as well, as Jingles was very hot to snatch Max up as the figurehead, but it makes me wonder, did this town never have a means to distribute the gifts to begin with? They made an abundance of them and the work area was clearly overwhelmed with presents, so what actually happened here? How does the magic work in this? Is it possible it could have been alien or something else entirely? There are so many questions coming out the back of this that it's actually giving me a fucking headache. Like, how did the magic work here? Is it possible that this was alien or something else entirely? I really don't know, and honestly, I don't think we were meant to know, as it's just supposed to be a good time. But for however decent this is as an episode, I would have preferred that they hadn't included this one, as it feels like a colossal waste of potential for the sake of a commercial obligation.
No, he's got a point.
And sacrificed the spot for something they could have come back to down the road, and I get that there are an abundance of episodes in this series that don't give us correlated material all the time, but I mean, why? I think the message was sweet with Max mentioning it's never about the gifts, but let's be honest, if that's all you genuinely have in most cases, then I guess it would be all you have, but the lesson is that gifts are replaceable and time is not. You need to cherish the moments that you have with your loved ones and make the best of life with what you get, and don't take a second for granted. And quite honestly, that's an important value that should be taught to the current generations growing up, to respect those around you rather than the things that you get from them. And to wrap up, I really don't have much else to offer on this. It's visually engaging at least, and is a refreshing backdrop to the chaos in front of us. It's a genuinely intriguing premise, and the themes are in line with what most Hallmark movies tell us. Making it feel rather generic, and for the tone of the show, is a little out of place, but otherwise it's a good time if you can switch your brain off. Anyway, that's all I've got for this week though. If you like what you saw here, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this down the road, and until next time everyone, take care, and Merry Christmas, I guess.